Greetings, my Arsenal family. Greetings to rival fans and greetings to the neutrals. So, the Community Shield, the curtain raiser for the Premier League. The result was 3 goals to the Arsenal and a big fat 0 to Manchester City. Yes, I still call them that. So, goals from Calafiore, he got the first one. Havertz got the second. And Martin Odegaard got the third goal. Now, yes, I know, I'm not going to get carried away. Yes, it is a pre-season game, but at the end of the day, both teams are in the same situation in terms of some players are still missing due to the World Cup. Some players aren't fit. In terms of pre-season games played, this game had come at a time where I guess both teams would have preferred it to come a little bit later so that players can be a bit fitter. But it is what it is. Both teams had to play the game as is. And the Arsenal dismantled Manchester City. It was a wonderful footballing performance from the Arsenal. Our passing was incisive. It was direct. Manchester City couldn't not cope with the movement. All our players were on the same page. You can see that it's a team that has been together for a while now and they know each other's games inside out. Except for Zolis, who is obviously a newcomer, and Bruno Guimaraes, who's obviously a newcomer as well. I want to start with Zolis because I feel that he has settled into the team seamlessly. It's like he's been playing in the team for a few years already. His running off the ball is phenomenal. When he has the ball, he always looks to pass forward. He rarely loses the ball. And he set up 2 goals today. So far, without being, over the top or getting carried away, he looks like a player. He really does. And hopefully he can keep that up for the remainder of the season. I thought that it was poetic that Miles Lewis-Skelly was the one who set up the first goal. Excellent work in midfield. Great strength and composure and vision shown to put Calafiore through on goal for that first goal. And from then, we didn't let up. We were on their necks from then. And that goal came after 24 seconds, I believe it was. And we didn't let up. We looked brilliant. We were strong in every department. Obviously, it's been well documented that there's no William Saliba. I thought Mosquera had an excellent game. I really do. When he first came into the team, I don't know if you remember, but it was away to Liverpool. So at Anfield, he was thrown into the deep end and he was composed. He defended well. So I'm not surprised by the fact that he's still doing that. I think he's an excellent centre-back. I think a lot of people are being harsh in terms of, yes, we do need another centre-back in terms of cover, but don't overlook what Mosquera can offer at the back there. But yeah, excellent. Absolutely brilliant. I think Martin Odegaard, in particular, yes, he was given man of the match, but even prior to that, you could see he was razor sharp. He was picking out the passes. He was orchestrating the game from midfield, and in my opinion, looked back to the Odegaard that we know and love. I think last season, a lot of Arsenal fans, I feel, in my opinion, were being a bit harsh on Odegaard because he had a lot of injuries. And you can go back through my videos and see the receipts. I was saying it's the injuries that have impeded his usual game. But some Arsenal fans were, they weren't hearing that, and some were saying he actually should go. I was not among them. I think he still has a lot to offer. And based on what we've seen today, you can see that he's sharp. He is sharp, and long may that continue. Now, in terms of Manchester City, I'm sure that the excuses are already being written up by mainstream media. Pep's gone, they have to adjust to a new manager and blah, 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 this and that. I don't think that Arsenal would have been afforded that same grace. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, already we've got a target on our backs because we're the Arsenal, but now it's like there's additional targets there because we're the champions. Case in point, that whole Miles Lewis-Skelly nonsense where mainstream media claimed that Miles Lewis-Skelly was being offered to Manchester United and Chelsea. This is just another attempt by them to try and derail us, to try and disturb our harmonious camp. It's not going to work. That's why I love the fact that it was Miles Lewis-Skelly that set up the first goal. And the way he did it as well was excellent. While we're in the midfield, good performance from Bruno Guimaraes. Played a lovely 45 minutes. I thought he was another player who just settled into the team seamlessly. He wasn't afraid to receive the ball under pressure. His passing was excellent. His tackling was excellent, but you know what you're going to get from Bruno Guimaraes. And this is why we signed him. So overall, I can't really pick out a weakness in our game today. And I do hope that it is underlined the fact that we played football today. We played some magnificent football that Manchester City, they couldn't cope with it. They just couldn't. The movement was excellent. The passing was excellent. I mean, the game finished 3-0, but it could have easily have been 6-0. And this is not me trying to banter, or I'm just looking at the match facts. You can look at them as well. They're there for everyone. But if we took those additional chances, it could have easily have been 6-0, and we were good for that 6-0 too. And I'm sure people will argue with it, but the only people that argue with it is obviously you watch a different game. So you might see me looking down from time to time, and that's because I've added notes to my videos now. I'm getting posh now. I've added notes. I don't want to forget, because we're not going to get the props we deserve. So I want to make sure that we get all the props. So I don't want to forget anything that I'll need to say in the video. Okay? Also, with regards to the corners, that really made me laugh today when it got to the corners and the commentary team deemed it necessary to remind everyone that they've changed the rules, which I think is hilarious, by the way, because the grappling thing on corners is something that has been going on since football started. But suddenly, because Arsenal have become so prolific at scoring from corners, these guys, the powers that be, changed the rules. But what was even more hilarious is the fact that we still had a set piece routine to counteract that. And we nearly scored from it as well. I cannot wait until we show once again that you can't stop us from corners, regardless of the rules that you change. And I love how everyone's acting like this grappling and stuff didn't happen before. Hilarious, but yeah, here we are. This is just another thing that we have to deal with, and we will deal with. It is what it is, because unlike Man Cheats the City, we abide by the rules. So while we're on the topic of Man Cheats the City, this is another season that is about to start. It kicks off on Friday with the Arsenal at home to Coventry. But this is another season that has kicked off, and Man cheats the City, still haven't been punished for their 115 charges. I am awash with befuddlement as to why this is still dragging on. The amount of teams that have been punished during that time, and City are just still operating with impunity, still signing players, still doing whatever they like. No European ban, no nothing. And they've got these charges still outstanding. I'm baffled. They're the team that should be hated by everyone, not the Arsenal. They should be hated. Chelsea should be hated. These are teams that have been cheating for a number of years. No one hates them though. Don't worry about that. Worry about Arsenal scoring from corners. Pathetic. But anyway, the Arsenal have grabbed the first silverware that was on offer for the season. The Arsenal have grabbed that. And I'm counting the Community Shield as a trophy, because when Pep Guardiola left Manchester City and they were tallying up his trophy haul, they included the Community Shield as a trophy. So if it's good enough for Pep, it's good enough for the Arsenal. So we've got our first trophy of the season. Salute to Bruno Guimaraes, because he's been at the club for less than a month and he's already got his first silverware. I can already hear people crying in the mentions. Oh, it's not a proper trophy. Stop your noise. Wipe your nose and stop your noise. Yeah, we got the first silverware of the season. It goes in the trophy cabinet, isn't it? Right. Also, I love the fact that Benny Blanco, aka Ben White, is looking like he's back to his best. Hopefully he is free of the injuries that have stopped him from playing his usual game, but I thought he was excellent today. It pleased me to see Ben White looking back to his best, because he's someone that you need in the team. He is. I'm not saying he should start over Timber, but at the same time, Ben White is that player that he does that ugly off the ball stuff that other teams hate. For example, when he undone Vicario's gloves at Tottenham, that keeper never recovered from that. That kind of ended his career. He couldn't believe it. That kind of housery is what we love Ben White for. So I'm glad that he looks like he's back to his best, and we're going to need him, because who knows when Jurrien Timber is going to come back. And when he does come back, I imagine it's going to take him a little while to get back to his best, which is fair enough. But if Ben White continues in this vein, we haven't got anything at all to worry about. Definitely not. But it was, yes, I looked at my notes again. It was overall an excellent performance, but not a performance I'm not gonna lose my mind over it. Yes, I'm happy, because it's always good to beat your rivals. I don't care if it's deemed a pre-season friendly. You want to beat your rivals, especially if it's the rivals who are deemed to be your closest challengers. So I'm extremely happy with the performance today. I'm extremely happy with the result today. I would have liked to see Saka on for a bit longer, but I'm guessing in terms of fitness, he's not at the level where he needs to be quite yet, which is understandable. Obviously, England went to the World Cup final. It's going to take him a little while, but I've got a feeling, and I said this last season, I have got a feeling that Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka are going to be absolutely electric this season. They're going to be exceptional because they haven't played a lot of football in terms of the injuries that they sustained last season. I've got a feeling they're going to be incredible in this coming season. Remember that I said that? Yeah? They're going to be brilliant. And if you add their brilliance to what we've already got in the team, and hopefully we do another addition or two, maybe a centre back, maybe a left winger. Our squad's magnificent. And the fight for places, the fact that nobody's place is really secured, that brings the best out of the players. So when they do get their chance, they're going to play out of their skin for not just for their place, but also for the manager. Because any player who is at Arsenal now wants to keep their place in this championship team. It's as simple as that. So next, we can look forward to Coventry at home, which is Friday. Not too long to wait. We all know how quickly Friday comes along. So hopefully we start the season with 3 points. And then we move on from there. Hey, to you rival fans, please let the hatred continue. Because your hate from last season took us all the way to the title. Long may it continue. Please, I implore you, keep hating. You know what we'll do? We'll keep winning. So salute my Arsenal family. Wait, before I go, David Raya, I almost forgot. Double check on the notes. Yes, David Raya. I thought he was brilliant today. I know he didn't have much to do because we kept Manchester City at bay, but when he was called upon, the key saves that he made, we're at a stage now where David Raya makes key saves at some point in every single match that it almost goes unnoticed. I do not think that he gets the accolades that he deserves. How he is not Spain's #1 keeper is beyond me. I don't understand it. This guy's won Golden Gloves 3 seasons in a row. And he's not Spain's #1. But anyway, credit to David Raya, because when you haven't got a lot to do in a game, and then when you're called upon and you're able to make those key saves, those match-winning saves, credit to him. It's just another reminder that we have a world-class keeper. So yeah, salute to David Raya. Anyway, my Arsenal family, we look forward to Friday. Hopefully we start the season with a massive 3 points. Salute.